If you've watched the Boruto movie, then you're probably very vaguely familiar with the character Shinki, who is the son of Gaara, the 5th Kazekage. However, what's even more interesting than the fact that Gaara has a son is the fact that Gaara has extremely high hopes for his son. In today's video, I plan to share with you what Gaara's ambitions are for Shinki and how they might be setting his son up for failure. Every father should love their son unconditionally and wish for them to have nothing but the best, ideally in most situations anyway. However, in the case of Gaara, his dream for his son to realize might be too much for the young Sand Shinobi to ever hope of achieving. In the Boruto fan cluster, we're given a profile of Shinki, and we even have Gaara's internal thoughts about his son. It's in this profile that we're told that Gaara already views his son as being the most skilled of the current Sand generation of Shinobi. It's not an empty claim either when you look at his son's skills. Shinki has the ability to manipulate sand, use the iron sand, and most importantly, he already knows a few chakra natures. Shinki has access to magnet release, wind release, and earth release, which easily makes him a very dangerous opponent to face in battle. It's precisely because of this that Gaara wants his son to become the next Kazekage to lead the Hidden Sand Village later on in the future. Now this is pretty big. In the thought bubble for Gaara, he says, and I quote, "I'd like for him to become the leader who will steer the Sand Village," end quote. That's clearly a nod to him having Kage aspirations for his son. Now, personally, I don't mind this. However, I do think it's funny. Gaara wants his son to become the next Kazekage, following in the family tradition of Gaara and Gaara's father, whereas Naruto's son Boruto doesn't want to become the Hokage like his father and his grandfather did. This places a pretty big burden on Shinki to carry. Inheriting the mantle of Kage is a huge task to take on, especially when the man that you call the father is the one who places that burden on you. Shinki is very calm and collected as the leader of his team, and we don't see emotion out of him too much unless he gets really fired up. He takes great pride in his skills and he adores his father. Both take pride in being their father's sons. For Shinki, living up to his father's expectations will be hard, but they might not be impossible. However, his father has set the bar really high for him to get. And most importantly, with the Boruto anime about to reintroduce Shinki to the story, it's something that has a lot of potential to be explored, and it's something I really hope that the anime does decide to touch on, because this will show a great dynamic between father and son, especially since you have Sasuke and Boruto both happening to be inside of the Hidden Sand Village, and given the circumstances of all the madness that's taking place in there, it'd be a really good idea to have Boruto have somebody who is the son of a Kage, where Boruto can once again feel that pressure of living up to great expectations, and most importantly, use Shinki as a way to reaffirm his own way of being a ninja. But I want to know from you guys, what is your expectations of Shinki in this new arc, and what do you think about Gaara's dream of having Shinki surpass him as the next Kazekage? But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.